So the word problems aren't going anywhere. It's just now I'm going to show you another strategy, another tactic, another tool you can use if you don't have an equation. So I'm going to grab some scrap paper. Don't write this down, okay? But earlier, what you remember 3 points from that question we had earlier? What was the y-intercept? Was it 0.47? Right? It was 0.47. And then we had 1.12, 53, 17? I think so. And then 4.42, 0. Okay? Did you know that this calculator, if you give it 3 points, it can make the equation for you? Okay? It makes it for you. So watch how I'm going to do this. I'll show you the steps later. You're going to use stat a lot, statistics. That button you're going to use a lot when you do regressions. Don't worry about following me right now, just watch. So stat, edit. We have something like a Excel spreadsheet on this calculator. I'm going to clear whatever I have on there. And I'm going to type these x values into L1. So 0, 1.12, 4.42. And then I'm going to type these y values. I hit enter every time into my y, into L2, right? And then I follow a series of steps here. So I go stat again. I say calculate. I want to do a quadratic regression. You see this? Quadratic regression. You can do a cubic regression. You can do a linear regression. Regressions is basically make me my equation. Okay? You're asking the calculator, hey, I have a few points here. Can you do something with this? And the calculator tries to find the equation that best models the points you've entered. Okay? So let's try this. Quadratic regression, and let's hit, and I'm going to hit enter here. This is the equation that you're supposed to be getting. What was the actual equation? Do you remember? It's going to be a little off because of rounding issues. Our points were all rounded. We had negative 4.9 for A. This is negative 4.89, so it's very close. B is supposed to be 11. This is 10.99 if you round this, right? Almost 11. And then C is 47. It did actually get that one right. Okay? So it came up with the equation with only given points, right? Another cool part is this. I'm going to quit this. Do you remember me telling you to turn off plot 1? Do you remember me saying that? I don't know if it's been a while. I'm going to clear everything on my screen. I'm going to turn on plot 1. And those are the 3 points that I gave the calculator. Okay? So it gets even better than that. If I were to, I can do a quadratic regression, tell the calculator, I can tell the calculator, put this equation in y1. I hit enter. And watch what, if I press y equals, it's now pasted in there. So I can do all of that. And watch when I hit graph what happens now. Right? Now you created the equation of the graph that is modeled by only given those 3 points at first. And now I can model the entire path of this. It could have been a projectile, somebody jumping off the cliff, you name it. So this is what regression is. It's like enter some points and then let the calculator come up with the equation for you. So because this is quite labor intensive, there's a lot of steps that you're going to take. After a while, you're gonna just memorize the steps. I'm going to ask you to go to page 42, and I'm going to give you, this is probably a good study sheet entry. I'm going to call this quadratic regressions. Keep this for grade 12 applied, okay? Because you're going to do regressions again in grade 12 applied. And I call this equation from points. That's my translation of regressions. Okay. You need at least 3. So step 1, enter x into L1, y goes into L2. To be able to do that, you're going to press stat, that's a button, and then you're going to select edit, ... Okay, that's technically a button or a selection you're going to make. And here's something I want you to know. This is true for grade 12 as well. You often are going to be given tables with those points already. If you have a vertical table, if the table looks like this, you know that the first one belongs to the x values, the second one belongs to the y values. So we'll put all of these points into L1, all of these points into L2. If you have a horizontal table, split like this, okay? If it's split like this, it goes horizontal, we know that the first row belongs to the x values, the second row belongs to the y values. So naturally, we would want to enter all of the first row into L1 and the second row into L2. That's just an aside. Step number 2. Turn on plot 1. How do you do that? You press y equals, highlight plot 1, and then enter. Third step, I would recommend you press zoom and then select zoom stat. To see scatter plot. Four. One second here. I wonder if I should tell you here. Yeah, 4. Step number 4. Choose quad reg. How do you do that? You go stat, calc, step number 5. You should see quad reg L1, comma, L2, comma, Y1. And I'll tell you exactly what to press to get these ones, right? So to get L1 on your calculator, you press second, followed by 1. To get L2, you press second, followed by 2. To get Y1, you're going to press alpha, trace. And another thing that students always, they forget about these commas. They're actually the comma button. You have a comma button. I'll show you real quick here. It's underneath sign, the sign button, or above 7. So it's between sign and 7. There's a comma button. You have to press that to separate these entries. Press enter. And write down equation. I know this is a little overwhelming right now, but I just want you to have this to go back. Let's say we're done this unit, we move on. You can come back to it and review. And last but not least, 6, graph. Curve should go through most, if not all, points. You may have to adjust your window. I'm going to do capital. This is important that some students think, oh, if I just use the zoom features, it's going to be taken care of. No, you have to make sure you adjust your window. Okay. All right, so let's try this. I'm going to ask you to go to 43. Before I move on, keep your finger on this. I'm going to go to the front cover, and I'm just going to say regressions, page 42. Somewhere on this page, tell yourself, if I want to review how to do regressions, it's on page 42. Okay. All right, let's go to 43 now. Give this a try. And I'm going to skip all the wording that's above it. I want you to go to this table right here. We're going to practice this together, okay? Have your calculators ready to go. No word problem associated here. So determine the quadratic equation that best fits the points. So it's asking for regression. So immediately I want you to identify that the first column goes into L1, that's our x values. The second column goes into L2. You can do what you want with the keystrokes.
It's also like this, right?
Always. Yeah, if it's like this, it's going to be L1, L2, X, Y, for sure. I'm never going to trick you that way. The bare minimum for keystrokes, guys, I'm going to say you go stat, calc, quadratic regression. And at the end of the day, you're going to give me an equation. That's basically what I'm after here. However, we're going to do a lot more than just this, okay? So, take your calculator. Go to your home screen for now. It's a bit, glares a bit, eh? There we go. Okay, you ready? So stat is where it's at, right? So stat, we're first gonna go into edit. You may have stuff in there, okay? You may have stuff in there. I actually prefer you having something in there. If you have stuff in there, I want you to go to the very top of your column and hit clear and enter. If you hit clear and enter, it's going to clear all the contents in that column. Do the same thing for L1. I just go to the top, I hit clear and enter. Don't hit delete. If you hit delete, it's going to get rid of the entire column. If you hit, I'm just going to show you, you can fix delete. Watch what happens to me. I hit delete. Let's say there are numbers in there. And I hit delete. Watch what happens. Boom. L2 is gone. You can fix that by going stat, setup editor, hit enter. When it says done, you go check again. Oops. Sorry. Stat, edit. If you do that, it's going to be restored. Okay, so that's kind of like the undo. My advice is just don't press delete, just clear. Okay? Now, let's enter these values. And if there's a negative, you have to use the negative button. Don't use the minus button. So let's enter this into L1. -4, enter. -1, enter. 2, enter. Once you're done, by the way, the question could give you way more. It can give you 7 points, but 3 is the bare minimum. Let's go to Y. That goes into L2. We'll go -5, 2, and 1. Enter. Every time you hit enter, you should have the same number on L1 and L2. Please take the extra second to verify you didn't miss a negative or anything like that. It takes maybe 2-3 seconds to verify that. And now we're going to do our regression. Okay? So I go stat again. I go over to calculate. And you're going to select quadratic regression. So the 5th option. Go ahead and select that. Now I'll tell you this. Technically you could hit enter here and it will give you the equation. But we will do something slightly more sophisticated. It's going to make your lives easier later for graphing purposes. We're going to go second, 1, comma, hit the comma button. Second, 2, so L1 and L2, comma again. Quadratic, so we're telling quadratic regression, go get your X values from L1, go get your Y values from L2. And the third one is, where do you want to paste that equation? That's the third option. So we're going to press alpha, followed by trace. And alpha trace allows you to paste that equation into Y1 all the way to Y0. I usually select Y1. That's always my selection. So I hit enter there. So now when you do your regression, it's automatically going to paste it into Y1. So let's hit enter and see what happens. That is the equation I get. Okay? So I want you to just write it down to 2 decimals. So you go -0.44 x squared plus 0.11x plus 2.56 rounded. So right, there's your general form. It's always in general form if you use this calculator. Your A's, B's, and C's are right there. So this is the resulting equation. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you do this, in order to quit this, you got to go second mode. And watch what I will do. I will go up. If you go up arrow, why is it? It's a bit there. You can copy paste this, so you don't have to redo the whole thing. But I will redo the whole thing. So stat calculate quadratic regression second 1 comma second 2 comma alpha trace. And that's when you select Y1. You can select Y2 if you want to, no big deal. When I make answer keys, I will sometimes put them into L1, L2, like Y1, Y2, Y3, so I don't override it. But that's what you're supposed to do. Hit enter. That's your quadratic equation. Now, hold on. This is, oh, it's almost home time. So I'm going to give you some questions to try, okay? Hold on. Let's see what the graph looks like. I want you to go to y equals. I want you to turn on plot 1. So if most of you or all of you, it should not be highlighted at all. I want you to go to plot 1, turn that on. Now you're going to actually see the points on your graph. Let's hit graph. Let's see what happens. I see a little bit on my graph. Do you see it as well? I'm not sure. Watch this part. If you have, listen carefully, okay? I know it's almost home time. If you have plot 1 turned on, you can use another zoom feature that I'm about to show you. Zoom, and you get to use zoom stat, zoom statistics. Remember, you kept on pressing stat to enter your points. Let's try zoom stat. So what zoom stat does is it zooms into the points that you've entered. Okay? So it will adjust your window so that you for sure, absolutely certain that you will see your points on there. Okay? And you should also see that curve. So you just came up with the equation that used these 3 points to produce an equation that then produces a parabola that fits through, like that goes through those points perfectly, right? So that's what you've just found. Question, can I now find the vertex of this parabola? Second trace, is it max, right? Can you find the intercepts? You can find everything because now you have an equation. Now you're back to where we started, okay? So what I want you to try is, for now, just page 45. Before you pack, page 45. Do you have 3 points on this parabola? You know what? Can you do me a favor and just do this for this activity for homework? You write down your points. As long as you pair them up, it doesn't matter which order you put them in. They just have to be paired up correctly. And then put it into L1, L2. So your task is to come up with the equation on page 45, try them all, and then answer the questions that follow once you have the equation. Okay, guys? Page 45, that's all I'm asking. Do yourselves a huge favor and familiarize yourself with regressions. Okay? Thank you, guys. As always,